Hello, Laurent. Laurent, welcome to this interview with World of Open Account. And first of all, thank you for having joined World of Open Account as a founding member. Can you briefly present yourself and your company?
Hey, Eric. Yes, sure. Thanks for the opportunity as well. So I'm the group managing director of CODIX, and CODIX is a software provider specialized in technology for the commercial finance industry, from factoring to all the other products that fits under the commercial finance umbrella. We're a privately owned company. All the shareholders work in the company. There are 5 of us. The company has been in business for over 25 years. We have about 600 employees worldwide at the moment, and we are present on all continents. Mm-hmm. We have a focus right now for our customer base in Europe, but we're expanding rapidly in other areas: North Africa, South Africa, the United States, and lately in Asia as well.
Okay, so quite a global approach, indeed.
Yes, indeed. So that's what we are trying to achieve, and I could say we have achieved, and we're still working on it. Is to have a global coverage in the system, in the IMX solution, to be able to accommodate any product flavor, again, within the commercial finance space, as well as debt collection, by the way. Mm-hmm. So any flavors worldwide, with all the regulatory requirements, as well as the flavors of the product, within the same system, via heavily parameterizable solution software, to avoid having to code, to program, to change the code itself country by country. Instead, we make sure we have the necessary flexibility to accommodate all the variations by country or by region. Okay. And that's also tightly linked to the way the company behaves and is organized. Without any external shareholders, we can invest to follow this very structuring strategy that we chose a long time ago.
Okay, thank you. Indeed, because indeed you, as you already indicated, the receivables finance industry is far from harmonized, and on top of that, there's a lot of changes which are taking place. So you have been in this industry for many years, therefore certainly more than 10 years, 15 years, I believe. How do you see evolution of receivables finance? Or maybe to put the question differently, what do you expect from your point of view to be the major challenges, evolutions in receivables finance, commercial finance for the next 2-3 years?
Yeah, so two axes there. One is there is always more and more variations around even the very traditional receivables finance. So we've seen in the past few years the single invoice discounting becoming super big, and then kind of the growing curve becoming more flat than we anticipated. And but next to that, also in the pure receivables finance space, the number of variations, flavors out there is increasing. We always think, well, by now we've seen them all and we will reuse. And yet, talking to different companies, talking to new entrants on the market, they come up with new ideas or new ways of doing the same thing. But even though it's more or less the same product, the way to do it and the application of the way they do it is a bit different. So that's what I have been noticing for the past few years, and the current trend is even increasing, with all investment funds creating companies for trading receivables. I see a lot of changes and new requirements coming out of this. So, and some of that transpires also to the traditional players. So I'm very convinced we are going to experience more and more of that in the coming few years. Okay. Second part is everything around interconnecting the systems with the e-invoicing rules and systems that are imposing themselves in Europe and beyond, and pretty much everywhere. It means for technology providers like us, we will have to integrate with the many e-invoicing platforms. We at CODIX, we've already done a few, but we know there will be many for every single country. Several platforms will be accredited, so we'll have the necessary homologations. And whenever such platform is being used by our customers, we will integrate with them. And even pushing that to the next dimension, we could have strategic partnerships with such platforms as let's say, business development axis as well.
Okay. Well, indeed, I think that in any case, technology has always been an important strategic component of receivables finance, but I do agree, and I'm sure you see that much better than I do, that technology is becoming even more and more one of the drivers of innovation, certainly with everything that is taking place with platforms. And as you rightly said, also the investors are looking into receivables as a new alternative asset class. So interesting times, indeed.
Yes. The speed, everybody expects everything to happen pretty much in the second, and without technology, it's just impossible.
Mm-hmm.
That technology is made possible, then it's just the risk, the level of risk that the companies are ready to take that will define how much of those subsequent decisions are actually being taken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. But thank you for that, and again, thank you, CODIX. Thank you for having joined this new initiative for the community for World of Open Account as founding member. Can you explain a little bit what you expect? What are your expectations from this new community? What would you like to see happening in this community for the next 1 to 3 years?
Mm-hmm. So, well, there's the parts I know and I'm going to talk about now, and there's the part I don't know, and I'm nevertheless expecting a lot out of it. So, for the parts I know is I see it becoming as a reference, as a center point in terms of information about receivables finance, commercial finance, from everything from best practices to finding providers, business partners, etc. So really being like basically in your logo, everything revolves around the world of open account. That would be the idea. Whenever someone needs something related to receivables finance or similar, to first look there, and from there piggyback and find, move from there to another website or to another company or to another business partner, etc. Be center point. And the second part is to support initiatives, new initiatives, innovations, new ideas that would be discussed. So basically being a discussion forum where new ideas are being bounced and see what people think about new ideas, of course, excluding the confidentiality issues, but being able to bounce ideas against other professionals from the same area, to see what would be the interest, what would be the just a very raw feedback. And in terms of looking a bit forwards, right now open accounts tends to be directly associated to invoices, receivables, but I think soon it will move naturally to also the other forms of commercial finance, so inventory financing, most likely supply chain finance, even though that's already more or less in the open accounts. So everything that falls under the supply chain finance, but not only payables and receivables, but everything else as well, or trade finance. This space is so connected to open account receivables finance that I see it as a natural evolution for the world of open accounts.
Okay.
The part that more or less is clear to me, and the part that is not clear is I see a lot of potential as long as the initiative works and the world of open accounts does attract all the community, the actors of this market. I think there's a tremendous amount of opportunities that could result out of it, even though I cannot name them nor clearly imagine them at the moment. I see there's a lot of potential in there.
Thank you very much for these comments, Laurent. And I must admit, even being at the center of this World of Open Account initiative, I don't know neither all the possibilities we may have in the future, and that's what makes it also exciting. We know, of course, what the pillars will be, as you said, indeed, networking, knowledge center, looking for innovation and trying to rub shoulders. But indeed, I think the biggest challenge and excitement can be about what new things which may pop up that we don't know now, provided we have a strong community with the right people. There may be so many good and new ideas which pop up, and maybe in 1 year time we will sit again together and say, well, we didn't know that this was possible in this community. But in any case, it's important to have people who put their shoulders under the initiative. And again, thank you for that, CODIX. And looking forward to working with you in the coming years and to make this initiative into something successful also for you. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.